Hello guys, I want to give you an update on what's going on with Kin. So first of all, the Kin Global account on X, I managed to get it from 1,300 to 3,000 subscribers in about a week. And we have a lot of success with the raids. We can raid basically any celebrity and get into #1 position in the comments. And we rated, for example, Elon Musk and had like 7,000 views in like half an hour or something. And but that is not onboarding a lot of people. But we do have giveaways on the King Global account, which is onboarding a fair amount of people. It's mostly Nigerian in the beginning, and since yesterday we got an influencer on board who also has a YouTube channel in Indonesia, and we grew that to 170 people now in the Indonesia group, and we started it had 30. That was in one day. And we're just talking to another influencer who has a huge Telegram group that could bring in another couple hundred people in the Indonesia group. So we have basically two countries where we have people now in the Kin community. We have 3 excellent administrators in the Telegram community. I found all of them. It's basically, I found Gabriel, I found the woman from Kenya. She's doing that. She's doing a good job. And then we have Gabriel's for Nigeria, and then we have YZZZTV, which is basically the Indonesian YouTube guy. He's doing the administration for the Indonesian channel. So we have that's going very, very well. It could always be better, but we are opening up all kinds of Telegram channels for all kinds of countries. We basically have those 3 now running. We have the main group, which through all of these giveaway efforts and everything, we got to 1,800 members yesterday. So basically, in 2 or 3 days, we got 100 Telegram users more into the main Telegram group, which is also great. Then we basically have three different ways to grow this right now. So one is influencer, which was the example of the Indonesian guy. Then we have the giveaways on King Global, and then we have the raids. The raids are more for eyeballs, for branding, if we want to target someone specific. But it didn't really get, people to follow the accounts. It got a couple of people to follow the Get Code account on X, but it wasn't that much. So the best so far has been the giveaways and the influencer. Now, the influencer was just a test yesterday, and it went very well, and it was by chance that we, stumbled upon the influencer. And now we are maybe pushing for the next one, which has the larger Telegram group, which would be then deliberate, basically, very, very specifically targeted. Now, I'm trying to get much bigger influencers on board. So it's clear that we need to do influencer onboarding. The giveaways are a good baseline for subscribers. There's something going on behind the scenes where we're going to try to blow up the giveaways even more. But that's not a guarantee. I will talk about this some other time. Now, as to the VM now is on mainnet. So basically the program, the smart contract, which reduces costs for code to onboard new members, which is an absolute prerequisite for it to go viral. That is already on mainnet. Now, the programmer who programmed this said there needs to be some changes still to it, minor changes to be done, but basically it's on mainnet. And they're starting to do basic instructions on it. And now comes the biggest announcement, which you probably don't know yet, is that there is the idea of flipchat, which is basically code incorporated, launching a second app, which would be for chat. If you know code, you know that the guys come from Kik, one of the largest messengers ever. They programmed the largest messenger ever before Telegram, before WhatsApp, before Facebook Messenger. It was called Kik, and it had 100 millions of users. and they are planning to launch flipchat basically, which would integrate the VM and other code functions. And when that runs very well, code would then slowly be upgraded to the VM. There is no definite timeline. It was said like month, but it wasn't given a very clear timeline. So we'll see what happens with that. I was kind of skeptical of the idea. I wanted to see the chat within code. But they will first do flipchat, and then they will decide whether they bring over all of this into the code app. I would prefer to see it within the code app, but I understand that that VM is a new unproven technology, and they need like a way to test the VM before they completely scale it into code. I also have some other ideas around this. I think that they will have to do a migration, in the sense like I think a lot of code users will have to then export their money into, say, flipchat or something like that. This is just a guess, so that they can upgrade code and people then can come back into code. That's my guess why they're not immediately putting it into code. It's just my guess. So that's an update. So we have about, on average, 100 to 200 code registrations per day, which before was just like 10 to 30 per day. And that's directly related to my effort and to fundraising effort of some people in the community and from the giveaways that I was doing. So, and I received a lot of respect, compliments for it, so that was very nice, and people got, again, hyped up a little bit. Now, to the price of kin, that kind of sucks. It's going down. The problem with this is the following. There is only one way for kin to go up in price, and this is if the actual app goes viral. And it cannot go viral before the VM is out, and probably it will need the chat also to go fully viral. Now, the giveaways, those are like nice gimmicks, and we get, 100 to 200 registrations per day. But unless people give, unless every user gives it to 5 people and those gives it to 5 people and so forth, we're not going to go viral with those giveaways alone. There must be more happening. Now, in Nigeria, Kado, which is the third-party provider where you can buy kin from within code, you basically log into code and then you buy kin from directly from in there using Kado. That doesn't work in Nigeria, but it does work in Indonesia. So, eventually maybe that will work in Nigeria. I don't know, but it depends on Kado and their expansion plans. But it does work in Indonesia. So as we open up new markets where Kado works, we might see people, and especially like influencers and those kind of people, load up their kin in Code Wallet and then use that to tip their community. I don't know if I have no information so far if that has happened. I don't think it has, but we're coming closer to that kind of like experience. But that's usually related to larger influencers who already earn a lot of money with their influencing. So we'll see when that happens. My kind of plan, I'll talk about my plan. I cannot do the giveaways forever ever. I have to unload it to other people because it's too much work for one person. The influencers I can so far manage. My plan as to marketing is to try to open up each of these pockets all over the world. So I have like Nigeria, Indonesia, Philippines, India. I'm trying to talk to everyone who's from India and get, traction there. I should get some influencers there as well. The Indonesian opening up of the Indonesian market was a surprise with the influencer, and we really need to do this in like a strategic fashion where we open up one country after the other. Um, Ideally, then also South America. But the problem with these countries is they're not. We have to find local influencers who do also the administration, like with Indonesia, because they a lot of times they don't speak English and they're not connected to English or Anglo-Saxon culture. So we do need to go completely local, and that was the idea why I started the Telegram group for the why I started the Telegram group for these all these local markets with their local languages and cultures. So picking the right admin, and making them basically grow it and staying in touch with them and so forth. So for now, it's working, but of course, we'd like to see it blow up even more. Like, say, in a week, go from 0 to 1,000 members in a group or something like that. And I think it's doable. We just need to find these people. I think it's very doable. We just need to find these people, like the Indonesian admin. He's phenomenal. He's doing an awesome job. He's very reliable, very cool guy. And that's what we need. And so if you're from a specific country and you want to do this and you know your language and your culture, you know your language, yeah, then we need you. If you want to do this. Yeah, so there's more updates coming now. Today there's some clarification internally about some things, and then tomorrow we have the spaces where everybody should come in on X and listen in on the spaces. What I can do is I can try to record the spaces and then post it here on YouTube. I think this is the first one that I'll do this way. And yeah, I think that's it as far as I know. Now, as soon as Code updates to something, I mean, Code is going to be busy now, mostly figuring out how to make the VM do what they wanted to do, and that's the most important piece of software right now.